Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to S Dawn Premiere. This is a space for inspiration, motivation, and accountability because we all need that, especially my ladies who I believe are on individual journeys to discovering their goddess allure, beauty, and charm. I want to encourage and help women to be powerful on purpose and to live out their dreams and achieve their goals in peace, joy, and in calm flow. I want us to figure out ways to get rid of all of that hustle and bustle and to stop stressing ourselves so much and just to kind of be easy as we move through life. So be sure to like this video and share this video, you all. Make sure you share it with everyone. And please do subscribe to S Dawn Premiere here on YouTube. And make sure you like S Dawn Premiere on Facebook. And please do follow S Dawn Premiere on Instagram. It's go time, baby. So let's get into the topic. One moment, let me get my stuff together. I got some notes today and stuff. All right, today's topic. You will need more than a Band-Aid. Let's get into it. So yesterday, I had to take my daughter to an appointment at the doctor's office. Right now, she is under orthopedic care because she did break her elbow doing gymnastics back in October. So she's still receiving physical therapy and she's still under a doctor's care right now. And we got her x-rays yesterday, and I was looking at it, and this is what her x-rays look like. Can you see it? You see that? Yes, those are actual screws in her elbow, right? So she had to have a surgery after breaking her elbow, and they had to put screws in it, right? And these screws are going to be there indefinitely. So the bone is healing, and it's healing very well, but we are still working on full range of motion and full extension of the arm at the point of the elbow, straight out, right? Because right now we're about right here with it. And we have a lot of work to do to get it to go straight, to figure it out. So I was looking at the x-ray today, and I was like, wow, she needed screws, actual screws for this fracture, right? For this break, okay? For this trauma that happened to her, that she's been through, for this drama that she needs to now recover and heal from. And it got me to thinking, wow, this is just a reminder to me that some things are gonna require a little bit more than a Band-Aid. Because see, this isn't just some scrape of the knee or scrape of the elbow or a little scratch on the chin. It's not like a little paper cut that we can just, swab down with some alcohol or swab down with some peroxide and then just wrap it up in a bandage and, and be on our way. No. Sometimes you're gonna need surgery. You're probably gonna need some staples too, maybe even some stitches, So I was just thinking about that because a lot of times in life, That's what happens to us. Hold on for a second. My light. I feel like my light is looking kind of funny. Okay, so, okay, it's not what I thought. Okay, whatever. Like I was saying, this particular break in her bone required surgery and then screws. So sometimes you're going to need surgery. You might even need staples. You might need stitches, and sometimes you might even need screws. Screws that need to go in place indefinitely in order for healing and full recovery to occur. I want you all to think about that for a second. I'm about to lose my voice. Now, here's my little disclaimer about today's message, okay? First of all, please understand that I am a huge fan of women's empowerment, okay? At the same time, for me, it has been my experience, and perhaps it has been the experience of many other women and many other ladies, that women empowerment isn't always rainbows and waterfalls, okay? A lot of times, women's empowerment has to get beyond all of the thoughts of roses and lucky charms. We have to move beyond, pink hearts, orange stars, yellow moons, green clovers, blue diamonds, and purple horseshoes. We gotta get beyond that, because women's empowerment isn't necessarily all sunshine all day. Sometimes we're going to have to get a little bit dirty. And I bring that up because I feel like this message may seem a little bit dirty. It might seem a little bit harsh, but I don't mean to step on your toes or or pierce your soul if anything that I say in the next few minutes does. The other thing is this: my message is geared towards individuals who are of sound mind and body. I am not speaking to anyone, okay? I'm not speaking to anyone who is under psychological evaluation or psychological care. I'm not speaking to that group of people, because I understand that they need a different type of medicine than what I can give, okay? It's my dog. Okay, they need a different kind of attention than what I can give. All right. I'm not a therapist, or I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not a licensed counselor. Okay. I didn't study psychology. I am not going to get into the ins and outs and the inner workings of the mind and why people are doing what they're doing. My message is for people of sound mind and body who know better. You know exactly what's going on in your life. You have a pretty good idea of what you're doing wrong and where you're dropping the ball. And you are making a conscious decision to do better. You are ready to evolve. You are ready to grow. And you are ready to move on. You pretty much understand that your life and everything that happens to it, for the most part, is really up to you. Okay? Moving right along. Sometimes you will need more than a band-aid. Ladies, a lot of times we find ourselves going through things and going through the motions in various aspects and situations and circumstances in our lives, and we think that we can just move right along and just slide right through it and put little band-aids on it to kind of patch it up. Okay? We can go through a significant loss, a significant breakup or heartbreak, or some type of trauma or abuse or something that really can, shake our spirit. And we're fully aware of what those things are. We know what those things are, because when people talk about things that are related to those issues, we get triggered. We feel some kind of way. We feel something bubbling and stirring in our spirit, and we feel something, and we do things to try to soothe our pain, or we do things that are like defense mechanisms, or they are cover-ups, to kind of ease the burden, if you will. And I call those things band-aids. And I was thinking about it this evening, like, okay, what are some of the band-aids that, some women or some ladies tend to put on to deal with significant loss, heartbreak, extreme forms of disappointment, trauma, or any type of drama that kind of just leaves you lost, leaves you in a space where you feel like, yo, I just got my whole face smashed on the floor. Man, that situation kind of tore up my soul. I just got my tail whooped, right? I feel like I just came out of a boxing match with that one. That kind of rocked my spirit. It shook me to my core. Oh my gosh. When things like that happen, a lot of times it's going to require more than a band-aid. But sometimes we don't realize this. What do? We start putting on band-aids. So I'm going to go through some of the band-aids that I think that I know that I have put on before, and that I've seen other women and, other ladies put on. And not all of them may apply to you, and maybe none of them apply to you. If not, you are awesome sauce. You are doing very well. You are blessed, and you go girl. But if you have done this, you may have an idea of what I'm talking about when I speak about these band-aids. I'm sure there's going to be many more that I think of after this video is over. So you guys are going to have to hit me to whatever those are. So one of the band-aids that many women like to put on is what I like to call this. This is what the band-aid looks like. Y'all remember this? She got her own house. She got her own car. 2 jobs. Work hard. She a bad broad, right? The independent hustlers. Overworked, exhausted, unappreciated, and dealing with little hints of discontentment, and are actually very lonely. But they got all the trends and the fixings because they getting it, and they doing it all by themselves. Okay? Here's another band-aid that I think I've seen women put on. Kind of looks like this. Oh, she fancy, huh? Oh, she fancy, huh? Nails done, hair done, everything did. With the bag and the shoes to match. But she look good though. All the while, she is suffering through a very broken heart, a painful misery from something that has happened to her that she's really not even fully over, or she hasn't really allowed herself to get to the bottom of and simply get through it. Okay? Another band-aid kind of looks like alcohol, substance, or abusive intimacy, if you will. You need lots of it, and you're doing this thing because you're like this. I want to get away. I want to fly away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And at the same time, you talking about get over her by getting under me. You want to feel good for a moment. You having all of these temporary escapes. All of these escapes without any resolution. Think about it. No resolution, so you're going round and around in the same circles and repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again. I've seen it. It happens. Another band-aid that a lot of women, I believe, like to put on to mask pain and other things are separation, seclusion, extreme forms of solitude, making declarations that say things like, I don't need nobody, I'm good. You over there like, all by myself. Knowing good and well that you are longing for companionship. You desire deep connection. You desire deep connection and sincere quality relationships. Okay? You desire a sincere quality relationship with a significant other. You want that. You want that in real life. You do. But you tell yourself other things because you want to make yourself feel better about, perhaps maybe, about being alone instead of getting to the bottom of, maybe social anxiety, or maybe feeling like you have trouble connecting with people and you haven't quite gotten to the bottom of it so you can get the help that you need to come out of that so you can live the full life that you really want to live, right? Another thing that, here's one. How the song go? This is another Band-Aid. This is another Band-Aid that I see ladies do, and it's so funny because these last two Band-Aids, this Band-Aids, how I go, beans, greens, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hog, mog, all that. You name it. Okay, so you're gonna go out 3-4 times a week you're going to eat out. You're gonna eat out with your friends 3 and 4 times a week. And then, when things get really tough, you're grabbing Mr. Ben and Mr. Jerry. You're grabbing the Cherry Garcia, whenever you have an issue. Hey, Cody Bear. Hi. Cody Bear. Come get him. Come get him. It's okay. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. And it's interesting because the same way that you're using food to comfort yourself, you're using it as a Band-Aid, you will then turn around, a lot of ladies, and then next thing you know, you are up in the gym just working on my fitness, right? Which is not a problem. Okay, so let me give you a disclaimer about that. I understand that there are many people who compete. You lift weights competitively. You do competitions. You make a living off of this. This is bread and butter for you. This is a business for you. So you work at the gym. You are in the gym because you are a competitor or you are a professional athlete. And so being in the gym all the time is necessary. Hello there. Hey. Hi, Simone. Say hello to everyone.
Hi.
She always want to make an appearance. All right, grab Cody. Okay, so where was I? Like I was saying. Okay, so I understand. For those who compete, those who are where it is actually necessary for you to be in the gym all the time, all day, some days, I get it. You're a competitor. It's work for you. It's a job for you. That makes sense. But there are some of us who live at the gym, and for as much as you think you're working on your health, and for as much as you think you are trying to address whatever your issues are in a positive way, it's actually counterproductive. Let me explain. There are 3 Zumba classes, 5:45, 7 o'clock, 8 p.m. in the evening. 3 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and you go to every class. You're going to 12 Zumba classes Monday through Thursday, and before class starts, you're also on the treadmill before. Now, I am a group fitness instructor, so there's a part of me that understands that can be excessive. While you're on the treadmill, you might want to figure out what you're running from, okay? You might want to get to the bottom of that. So that's just a few of the band-aids that, I could come up with. I'm sure I'm going to think of some more. I'm sure you all can think of a number of band-aids that we try to put on, just to help ease our pain. But what I want to encourage you all today or this evening, as I think about, some solutions to this is, first and foremost, and I think I probably say this on most of my videos. Hold on for a second. First and foremost, you don't need a Band-Aid. A lot of what we are going through is going to require surgery, like I said before. Surgery, staples, stitches, and in some cases, screws. An indefinite remedy to the situation. Something that says, this is it, this is over, I'm moving on, and I'm not coming back to this place. In some ways that I thought might help, just a suggestion, not set in stone, and I'm pretty sure there are more ways, is to start with the woman in the mirror. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm talking to women who are of sound mind and body, those who know better, those who know exactly what's going on in their world and they want to fix it. You're going to have to start with the woman in the mirror. That's where it all begins, right? Like, what's the cliche they say? Admitting what's wrong with you is like the first step to getting better. Sometimes when I look in the mirror and I'm thinking about things that may not necessarily have gone my way, or maybe they haven't gone my way, I got to start with me. And sometimes I have to slap the nonsense out of myself and then come back and knock the sense into myself. Okay? Sometimes, ladies, you're going to have to get in the mirror, and you know what you're going to have to do? Like my sister says, she'd be like, sis, oh my God, let me get that together, y'all. Okay. You are going to have to look in the mirror, and you're going to have to say, you might be a little bit selfish. You, ma'am, might be toxic to yourself and other people. And toxic was one of the words for 2019, and so was narcissistic. That was a very popular word last year too. Well, sis, you might have some narcissistic tendencies. Sis, you might be your own worst enemy. Yeah, because see, here's the thing. Oh my gosh, my children. It's never a dull moment in this house. Here's the thing. You have more control over your life than you think. You are the one who's deciding what is going to happen to you. Okay? Hold on, I got some notes. You're going to have to get really clear and get honest with yourself. And that is very difficult because women, listen, we talk about the guys not wanting to be honest, but we're not honest all the time, not with ourselves. We think everybody doing something to us, sis. Sometimes you're doing some stuff to yourself, and it can be very painful to look in the mirror and say, dang, you just got your tail handed to you. Why? Because, first of all, you are outsourcing your life to other people. You have no game. And you just coasting along thinking that you don't have to take control of your entire existence. You do. Whatever is happening to you, a lot of times you're bringing it on yourself. And that is some surgery that a lot of people try to skip. Now, I do understand that there are things that many people have gone through as children. And like I always say, and I'll say it again at the end of the message, because this is one of the remedies too, is their therapy is going to be your friend. Nobody else is going to be able to help you with it but you and perhaps a trained professional. Okay? One of the things I'm discovering as I get older, unfortunately, and okay. As you get older, hold on for a second. As you get older, your childhood trauma, unfortunately, your childhood trauma can no longer be an excuse for anything. Okay? I know all about it. My childhood trauma started when I was 7. But that cannot be the reason why I don't go out into the world and be a productive rock star. That cannot be the reason why I allow myself to be, why I would allow myself to be taken advantage of or mistreated. That can no longer be the reason. Why? Because I'm of sound mind and body, and I now know better. I know better. I kind of have to let it go. But what I'm telling you is if you can't let it go, then, therapy is your friend. You're going to have to start owning where you drop the ball in your relationships, personal and or professional. No matter who it is, own everything that you did. Everything. It takes 2 to tango. I know, right? And that is very hard, especially for women, because we be like, we're like, what I said how did I say it in my other video, the indefinite damsels in distress? You were not a pleasant princess or a quality queen every day in that relationship. You got a mouth on you. You know, you you. Okay? So let's stop pretending and go ahead and own your part. Own it. You didn't show up to work all the time. You had a lackluster approach to your projects and assignments. Own it. Dig deep. Go ahead. Cut open the stuff. Have the surgery. Get all that nonsense up out of there. Okay? And like I said, I'm always going to reference seeking therapy. Okay? You are holding on to stuff that causes you to use your job and your status and your hair and your clothes and food and living at the gym. You're using all of those things to help cover up the confusion in your spirit. okay? The unrest in your soul. You're using those things to cover up these headaches and those sleepless nights that you have. You use these things for temporary escapes and short-lived pleasure instead of getting to the bottom of your root issues, which are likely starting with you. Okay? Once you are over 30, 35, 40, the onus is on you. Other ways I believe that you can help to start doing that surgery and getting that stuff out is to work on balance. You might be doing too much of one thing. You might be going hard at the job, right? Remember when Halle Berry tried to do that after she and Eddie Murphy broke up in Boomerang? You know, she went all in on her job and she was fine and she was fierce and she was doing it and she became stiff and cold and, you know, and at the end of the movie, when he came back to her, which is what he wanted, which is what she wanted him to come for her, gentlemen. She wanted him to come for her and apologize and to admit his own mistakes, you know, but I digress. That's what she wanted. And you know what he did to her? With all of her status and all of her bossness at the end, and she was running it, broke down in tears. And what did she say to him? She said, I'm scared. She said, I'm scared. Because she had to get vulnerable. A lot of us ladies have lost our vulnerability. We don't even understand that that's like the hugest part to living out your goddess allure, beauty and charm, your vulnerability. And it's because you've been through a lot, right? But you lose that when you cover it up with your nails and your hair and your fine clothes and your bags and your shoes and your hot job and all your toys and everything. Things that at the end of the day, which you really want, which is probably him, he don't care about none of that stuff. But that's another conversation for another day. The relationships that you desire, a lot of times, they don't care about none of that stuff. Right? But I digress. So you want to work on balance. Listen, all work and no play is making you a dull lady. You're going to have to mix it up. You're going to have to learn how to socialize. Stop putting yourself in extreme forms of solitude. You don't need to be out here by yourself. Get to the heart of the matter. Open up yourself. Get vulnerable and open it up and say, well, I want to, but I'm scared because this is what happened and I'm really just trying to get through it. This is hard for me. So I need to maybe get a therapist or a counselor. You know, I know what it looks like. I know what it looks like. Okay. Some active things that you can do. You know, I talked about being excessive with your cardio fitness and being excessive like with weightlifting and stuff, because yes, that is a productive way to get over yourself, but that's only one side to the story. You need to have balance. So you need to consider yoga. You need to consider meditating, getting to a space of mindfulness where you can just sit and quiet your mind because you're racing and it's too much, sis. It's too much. You just need to stop, be quiet, meditate, get into a space of mindfulness where you can start focusing on your inner peace. You can start focusing on your inner joy. You can start focusing on how to achieve calm flow. Because your mind is always racing. You go, go, go. Go, go, go. Steady scrolling through social media. Who doing what? Girl, mind your business and drink your water. Mind your business and drink your water. Start stretching. Stretch. Start opening up those lungs and taking deeper breaths and getting centered. Okay? Okay? Because you're going to have to get to the bottom of what your issues are, and you're going to have to find peaceful ways to really start handling it and working through it. Another thing that could be a part of your surgical process is getting more sleep. Listen, get more sleep if at all possible, by any means necessary. If you're struggling to get the rest that you need, then you need to probably talk to a medical professional and have them to help you to figure out how to get more sleep. Because as you age, you're going to need it. You need your rest. You need your sleep. You need to get in the habit of turning the entire house off. Everything goes dark. All phones are nowhere near your bed, so you can stop stressing and living in a permanent state of anxiety, because one, you're not over yourself and you're not over your mess. But two, you're always thinking about, oh God, but I gotta do all this tomorrow. Stop. It's too much. Stop. Let's stop putting on these band-aids, ladies. This is temporary fulfillment. But I want to encourage you and challenge you to get in a space where you are more focused on long-term results. Okay? Long-term peace, long-term joy, long-term calm flow. I don't know who told some of us that life was supposed to be struggle, 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 hustle, struggle all the time, and every once in a while there's a little bit of sunshine. No, baby. Everybody loves the sunshine. We want that more than we want all of that rain. Yes, we know we need the rain. We get it. We need the rain. Again, it's balance. Learning how to take the good with the bad. Learning how to take the bitter with the sweet. We need the rain, right? Because it nourishes us and it replenishes us and it helps us to get stronger. But if you are living in an extended period of rain over weeks, months, years, leading you up and down into these different bouts of what you might perceive to be as your own personal depression, then you're going to have to start to give yourself, a surgical procedure. You're going to have to cut open that stuff and get all of the nonsense out and rework some things inside and screw some things back together, stitch some things up, put some screws in so we can get some real healing going, so we can get some real recovery going, because of all of that outside stuff is fleeting. It's fleeting. What you desire is deep, eternal. What you really want, what you really are searching for, eternal bliss. I know you want it, right? So think about it, all right? If you like the video, be sure to like it and share it. Be sure to subscribe to S. Dawn Premier here on YouTube. Be sure to like S. Dawn Premier on Facebook. And be sure to follow S. Dawn Premier on Instagram. It's go time, baby.